minutes as fast as possible as I've ever seen in my life. That was quick.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carrie Higgins. I am a Senior Program Administrator with the City of Topeka. I am honored to welcome you all here today, and I want to thank you for attending as we have an exciting program announcement. But first, I would like to acknowledge the community leaders in the room today. We have Deputy Mayor Duncan, Councilwoman Valdivia Alcala, and City Manager Wade. I also would like to acknowledge all of our partners. We have Catholic Charities, Community Action, Community Resource Council, Doorstep, Let's Help, the Salvation Army, Topeka Rescue Mission, Topeka Housing Authority, and Vallejo. So today we are launching a new initiative called Equity Access Shelter. We all know that homelessness continues to be a challenge in our community, and it's time we make a change to better address that need. Equity Access Shelter provides a single access point for anyone needing rent or mortgage assistance. Individuals will no longer need to call multiple agencies to try and find help. They will call one number, and staff will assist them with an assessment that will score their level of need. This score then allows us to pull names based on prioritization to ensure that we are helping those with the most critical needs first. EAS was initiated by Councilwoman Valdivia Alcala, and it is inspired by the Housing First model and the National Built for Zero movement. I would like to welcome the council member to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Carrie. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Again, my name is Councilwoman Christina Valdivia Alcala, and I represent District 2. And I just want to say a big thank you to Deputy Mayor Spencer for being here and helping us launch with this. This has been in the works for some time, at least since 2021, efforts to create something similar to the Built for Zero model, which I encourage you all to look up as part of the research that I was doing to how can we do a better job, better than what we're doing right now, to assist specifically to me, the chronic unsheltered population. I never saw myself involved at this realm, even as a councilwoman. The need was there because of how deeply the chronic unsheltered has impacted my district, District 2, but impacting the city as a whole. I have understood more and more during this process that there are the inherent rights that everyone has to shelter, to a roof over their head. And with this model that Corey and her staff have worked so hard on, I hope that what we will be able to see is real change, not only for the chronic unsheltered and homeless, but for individual neighbors and citizens that are having a tough time with this, and we know that it's happening across the city. So this model is going to be important for all organizations to be keyed in on. It will not work unless we all work together on it, and where the city acts as that hub for all of the information to flow through. So with that, I would just like to say, Corey, thank you to you and your staff for being so on point and so willing and embracing for this new initiative. And I think that if successful, we can see that perhaps other cities and towns across Kansas can look to us as a model of what can be. So thank you, and I'd like to give it over to Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Council Member. I am Spencer Duncan, current Deputy Mayor, represent District 8. These problems are ones that will not go away on their own. They are not just going to solve themselves tomorrow. And money is not the only problem that solves it. It's certainly a component of it, but it takes flexibility from us as a community to deal with these problems. It takes creativity from us to deal with these problems, and it also takes very willing partners in the community to step up and assist us with these problems. I spent last week traveling the western part of Kansas, visiting with a lot of different communities, and I've spent part of this week and will finish this week in the southeast part of the state. And I assure you, we are not alone in this problem, and communities, regardless of size across the state of Kansas, are trying to find ways to solve it and help people and better their communities, and they're struggling for a variety of reasons. So I think it's okay for us to say here in Topeka that we're proud of the work that our staff has done on this side of it to be creative and be flexible and look for ways with the resources that we have to try to solve this problem and work on it. And to look on the other side of the table, and it's very commendable, and we thank all of you who in this community who are willing and able to step up with us and partner with us, because we can't do it without you. It cannot happen without you. Government and the city cannot solve the problem alone. And so you are as essential component of what we're doing here as much as we are on this end of it. So thank you, everybody, for not just being here today, but for being here for the long haul. Our commitment is there, and so we thank you for trusting us in making that commitment and walking with us through this journey and through this program. With that, I will turn it over to Mary Thomas with CRC.
Good afternoon, Mary Thomas, Executive Director with CRC. Nice to see so many faces that I work with every day. This initiative is, as they say, long overdue, and I so appreciate the vision of city staff and city council to work through this and see it through and commit to you today and to the consumer where we're really trying to address the issue most. At CRC, as you know, we're a conduit, we're a facilitator, researcher, educator, whatever, but we have 2 phone lines that ring all day long with staff that answer, and they want to know, where can I find assistance for X, Y, or Z? And it's disheartening to us many a time to give out 4, 5, 6 phone numbers so that they, not just saying we don't do this service, we try to connect where we know there is money, where there is the ability to plug in the person that needs the service, asking enough questions to make sure we get them to the right place. Really, 5 or 6 phone numbers when they're on limited minutes on their cell phone? You all have dealt with that issue. I know it's hard for you to do the same thing. And sometimes our information isn't what it should be, so that we sometimes put them in the wrong place. This design will help the consumer most because it's a one-stop shop for that kind of assistance. It will also triage those that are completely down and out. And so it will work the system so that we can address those that are in immediate critical need and also work with those that maybe can catch their breath and not have to make those 6 phone calls, leaving messages, following up. You know, every no, psychology tells you 50% of the people fall away, never seeking that assistance again. We don't want to be no community. We want to be yes community. We want to work together, push up our sleeves, make this happen for those that are in need. If this experiment works, I see that it will also work quite well for utility assistance. Spread those dollars farther. Your staff can then concentrate more on programming rather than answering the phone and sorting out what the need is, and with folks having to tell their story time and time again over the phone, if they have enough minutes on their cell phone, depending on that certain point of the month, so that they can find the assistance they need. We're so pleased to partner in this. We've been running data for a few years for the city so that they could monitor what we're doing, what other agencies are doing, and could see the need on what we could do here better for those in the community.
Thank you. We are so excited to launch Equity Access Shelter. It is truly a community collaboration that makes access to housing easier and will help address the issue of homelessness in our community. Again, I want to thank you all for coming. To our media partners, we will be available for individual interviews here in a few moments, and I am happy to answer any of your questions then. Thank you.
Thank you.